Greetings, folks. It is Ron. That is Joe. And God willing, this thing's going to work this week. We'll let you know. We're going to, we have some Plan B stuff in the works in case, but let's hope and pray it works. Joe, what has been happening? What has been transpiring on your end? Let these folks know. My God, we have some people who are already off to.
I know
that the next meeting is going to be spectacular.
We've just to give you guys some updates, it has been an insanely busy week. We've had a bunch of stuff going on. There's a lot going on behind the scenes right now as well. We have picked up the majority of the door prizes now based off of what you guys have been able to support for the last 3 shows. Okay. The last 3 shows, we threw it at door prizes, and we've got you guys some really cool stuff that I think you're all going to enjoy. We used your recommendation list. I'm not going to tell you what all you're getting and what all's going to be there, but we did use your recommendation list. And so we thank you guys so much for all the support. Again, we've got West Virginia Bigfoot Project, L.W. Marshall, and Jimothy down there at Spooky Appalachia coming in here hot and helping us out. We thank you guys so much. Ada Cox, holy cow.
Crap, Ada. Thank you guys. Owls.
Y'all are a mess.
They want those new Geiger counters, man.
They want those new Geiger counters, and it's
you know what's going to be really funny? What's going to be really funny is I think eventually we may get to the point where we're able to give everybody at the meeting a Geiger counter at this point. I mean, I'm telling you, that's going to be amazing if we can pull that off at some point in the future, especially all of our researchers. We have, speaking of, a line of communication open with GQ now, and it could be something where we could maybe ask them about a possibility of, if we buy so many, what kind of deal can we get? Group discount. Yeah.
Nancy, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I'm going to lump in a few LR. Man, LR coming in hot right out the gate.
Let them keep rolling, and then we'll count them up, and then we'll give them all the blessings.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You guys are
that way. We're just going to keep it rolling.
You
guys keep going.
And free, absolutely. Bless you. And speaking of keeping it free, we are upgrading this environment. There are assets now that we're going to be able to get because of you guys and your continued support that are going to vastly increase the production quality of what you guys get, keeping it radioactive.
That's how you do it.
And you guys are going to be able to consume this in this same live fashion as always, but it's going to have a higher production, higher quality value for you guys, because we're in a position right now where we can expand a little and do some of that.
Don't say it's higher production value, because it's us still.
It is still us. That's right. So it instantly is tarnished, but
right. That's what I'm getting at. So, you can't really say, they may get the wrong idea here. They may think that's going to be professional or something. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Got to keep that edge off.
Higher production quality. Yes. Professional. That's what you get.
Can't make any big promises there.
Yeah.
Enzo says, will we be getting a wild and weird Amazon Prime Day recommendation today? Actually, yeah. If there's some stuff that you guys are interested in, we can definitely link some things
for sure.
I found there are a few places that do sell the gear that are offering discounts. Not many. The majority of the research stuff that we use is not included in the Prime Day stuff.
But there's some really good infrared monocular type things that are there, right? Yes. Like those ones like I got, like those are good. Those are good.
And there's really good lights. Lisa had sent me a picture of one, asking about one. Also, right now, there is a batch from Ghost Stop they have a messed up uh, USB-C port where it was a little bit more shallow than what they need to get full connection. So they made custom USB cables to work with it. It's a longer tipped USB-C.
Uh-huh.
For $50, you can go get $100 infrared booster right
Oh,
now.
wow.
Normally this is $100 thing, but because of this minor inconvenience and having to use their proprietary cable that they're going to send with it exclusively,
And that's just for charging.
it is just for charging.
And you can plug it into the stick too, right?
Exactly.
The ones that
As
are
long
whatever.
as you use their cable, because it's USB standard on one end, USB A to
Mhm.
USB C.
Right.
So as long as you use their cable for all the attachments, it's going to work just fine. And they're giving you a 50% off discount. So I highly recommend going and grabbing one of
Yeah,
those. Um,
I agree.
the
Th
there's a few
they
things that are
extend
out there right now.
they extend the range of your infrared, just tremendously, guys. I mean,
It's
I can't
ridiculous.
even explain it to you. If you've seen the videos, you know.
And
It
to put it into perspective, the only thing that I've seen even come close is the $300 emitter from Psionics.
Mhm,
That's the only thing I've ever even
mhm.
seen that comes close to it, and it's almost 3 times the price.
Right, right. So these
And it
things are
doesn't have the
really
cool functionality to say, "Hey, I want blue lighting."
yeah. Yeah, you can change the colors. That's
Yep.
true. You can do some spectrum shifts with it and change colors and whatnot, which is really cool. So yeah, if you want to grab one of those, go and now's a good time to get it. So yeah, starting a fund for
There's
radiation poisoning treatments. Okay, okay, yeah, there you go.
long-term exposure. We've got Beth in the house. What's going on? Linda has arrived. Ada Cox, obviously. Jen's in the house. Angie's here. Miss Trackway's here. We've got Enzo, obviously. Donna's in the house. We've got Terry McCullough. What's up, brother? Obviously, Spooky. You've already kicked the door down. Oz in the Woods is here. Then let's see. Danny Buckner. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Then we've got who else? Gary Schuler, of course. And Larry Hose is here, and L.R. Miller is here. There's a few of you guys at the very beginning that I missed because you got
Yep,
in here quick when everything was kind of unfolding.
they did.
But I want to get you a proper formal greeting. Rob Posey, what's going on?
Hey,
Vincent
Rob.
Ellison, what is up? Uvaru. Then we've got Jordan Booker's in the house. All right, I think it kind of catches us up, at least with everybody who's commented.
Yeah, everybody comment. Let us know you're here. I see West Virginia Watcher Files is here.
Sweet.
Hey, 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 old
Hope you're
friend.
doing well, West Virginia Watcher Files. You've been in our thought.
Very soon. Yes, absolutely. And we will see you soon as well.
Jim Broseph is here. What's going on, Jim Broseph? So okay, man. This week for
Catch
you,
up
Ron, how's it been?
update. Well, my week has been fairly okay. I'm just finishing up stuff, getting ready for Kecksburg. Because I'll be going up there. And I don't know how many of you guys knew it or not, but we got see Kecksburg over there on Beyond Skinwalker Ranch this week. That was pretty exciting. Let's see Stan up there talking about some stuff. That was really neat. But I'll be up there and we'll have those limited edition prints and a few other cool things. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If anybody's up that way, then please drop by the table and say, hey. I'll also have some of our evidence there for you guys to look at. So you'll be able to see some stuff and ask some questions and tell your stories.
Yep. And I unfortunately won't be there, but I'll be there in spirit. And
Yeah,
there are
there will
things
be
I'll
no,
that
there will be no
are
Joe ghosts.
here.
There will not be Joe ghosts. I will not allow
Maybe.
it.
There might be.
There might
But
be. I don't know.
there will be some things up there on the table that came from this desk, so I'll be there in spirit. All right, let's go over here. Now, news. Okay, so let's
News.
kind of dig into the meat for this
Well,
week's episode.
been a lot of
Because
been a lot of stuff going on. I
yeah,
mean,
as you can tell, everybody from the name of this episode is what's new this week. Well, it's a kind of a grab bag, and some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it is like it's really is the good, the bad, and the ugly.
mm,
Because there's only one good thing that's really come up out of this here the last few weeks. We'll touch it from the public sector, and The rest of it is just a whole lot of confusion.
I think one of the good things that happened this week is the giant Mothman was released by a Build-A-Bear.
Oh, that's right. That big 3-foot one.
Yeah, he's sitting in there on the couch right now.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
dude, it's huge. I was gonna bring it on the air and show you, but I can't. It's big.
That's funny.
Yeah, its head's like, But anyway, that was exciting. That was fun. But no, there's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on in the news right now, and we're going to touch on that. I mean, I think we've talked about this before, and we're going to bring this up as well. There's a little bit of news concerning the Ring of Fire, right?
Oh man.
A little bit.
Okay, so the based off everything that I can see,
Hmm.
Ron and I we have interest in the paranormal and the unexplained. We're also very interested in like
Earth.
earthworks and the
Sure.
behavior of how our planet functions, like the
Uh,
geomagnetics of our planet, the all of the geology, the way the Earth breathes, essentially.
just the whys and the hows and all that, because you
Yeah.
have to understand your home before you can understand anywhere else. That's just the way it is.
So we've always had a deep fascination, even from the time I was little. I have been fascinated with all this stuff, and what we have been seeing just over the last 3 weeks, I've been sharing some of it over on the group page. We've been sharing it in our private chat with Dave, because Dave, being the astronomer, yeah, Mama Nature's in a mood, and I don't blame her. I don't
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
I'm concerned that we're getting very, very close to maybe getting kicked off like fleas. But right now, we have all these crazy floods going on. Okay. That are popping up everywhere. We're going to talk about some of that here in the show. But
We're not going to talk
yeah,
about it in conspiracy theory land. We're going to talk about it. Talk about it
yeah, exactly.
because there's a
And
lot of crap going on right now.
and there is currently in the earth movement. There's a lot of movement, more than usual. We're having clusters in Mount Rainier, earthquake clusters. We're having earthquakes and volcanic eruptions in the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is waking up. We may see a new island come out of the ocean at this
Yeah,
point.
this is possible. And this is not, we're not, that we're not exaggerating that part. That's a
No,
very good possibility because if there's enough force there and there's enough, and there is, I mean, it's the Ring of Fire. If it's really going to concentrate like that, we could see the birth of an island. We could actually see the rising of an island.
yeah,
And yes,
because
you Edgar Casey fans, go ahead and get ready to say it.
right, it could very well be the birthing of a new landmass coming up out of the ocean, because there are underground, somewhat shallow now at this point,
Hmm.
volcanoes,
Hmm.
because they constantly spew. Everybody's seen the Discovery Channel videos where these magma tubes will open up under the ocean and just
Right.
spew and harden almost immediately. All it takes is a big one of those to
I
just
mean,
bubble up, and you've got an island.
you've got Hawaii.
Right, exactly. And you're going to have an expansion of the archipelago. So this whole thing, you've got Japan, Hawaii,
Hmm.
Indonesia. There were two actually in Japan that erupted today.
That was a monster in
Yeah,
Japan. It doesn't look real. That looked like a scene out
400
of like a Godzilla
kilotons.
movie or something, man. Did you see the streets?
Oh yeah,
It's like,
400
wow.
kiloton ash plume.
Yeah, it's
We
amazing.
might go into a cooling pattern,
Yeah, yeah, we might. And it's funny how nature does that stuff, huh?
right? We're very, because we have had so much tonnage of volcanic ash and debris spewed into the atmosphere over the last 2 weeks that it's on a level that modern humanity, and when I say modern humanity, I'm talking about from like the 1900s forward, we've not seen this kind of activity around the world all at once. Yeah, we've seen volcanoes popping off, you know, every year, a handful here and there every year. But right now, just in the last month, there has been over 20 different eruptions. in
And
the
what
last
is going
90
on with Mount
days.
Rainier? Let's throw that. Someone brought that up. I saw that
Yeah,
this past week.
yeah,
There's a cluster of earthquakes
hundreds.
in Mount
So,
Rainier. What in the
so,
world? And
so
there's a
Mount
lot of folks who believe that that's a sacred place, that that's tied to some stuff.
they do, and Rainier is a volcano.
Yep,
All of those, yeah,
ancient.
Rainier, St. Helens, all of those mountains out there out west, they're volcanoes.
Yep,
Okay, they're asleep. Well, we're asleep. um, but Rainier started going off hundreds. Is it wrong that I want to see Gamma? No, Gamma is the coolest. I was explaining Gamma to my wife last week, and she about fell out of the chair laughing because she's like, "So okay, there's this giant turtle like Godzilla." I was like, "Oh yeah, but it gets better. He sucks his legs up into his shell and shoots fire out of his butt and can fly."
yeah, that's pretty much it right there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
So yeah, it was pretty funny, but we are seeing this fundamental change of the planet. We're in a slowing pattern. The Earth's core is slowly moving. And when we see this start to happen, when we see that slow down, it's a cooling, right? The internal core starts to cool, and then we start to slow, and then it warms back up, and we move and spin faster. But when this happens, the center core, like the actual like molten core, actually kind of changes shape a little bit. And that changing of shape gives us a little bit of a goofy wobble because it's now kind of we're out of sync. Like you've seen how a top spins, right? When it spins great for a long time, then all of a sudden it starts getting out of its, geosyncrasy, and then we'll start to wobble. We're
mhm,
going to have a little bit of that. And that wobble is going to cause earthquakes. That wobble is going to cause volcanoes to start popping off. It's also going to cause crazy storm patterns. It's going to cause the jet stream to shift the way that it already has. It's going to cause massive global climate change where right now we're seeing the glacial sheets of ice up north. They're shrinking on our side, but they're expanding on the Russian side. There's been tons and tons and tons of ice growth. I'm about 80 miles from Rainier. My butthole would be puckering so hard right now if I were you. Can you, since you're right there near Rainier, can you give us any like thing that they're telling you guys on your local news, local media? Because I know that there was 250 was the last mention that I had between, it was like between 250 and 350, I think, was what we saw here on the East Coast based off of the cluster of activity that you had. And what we did see on the map was it was extremely focused,
it was
and
concentrated.
the depth was at a very specific level. It was all in the same range. All the earthquakes were within the same range, and they were also centrally located around where a magma chamber would be.
That's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
what are they?
I'm not a
What are they telling
geologist,
you
but
over
that's
there?
what it looked like.
Yeah, it really did. It looked like a magma chamber.
Yeah.
So the TFG or the FG, yeah, what are they telling you? Like, what's the word in your area? If I see tiny Oriental ladies singing Mothra, I'm heading to the Mothra.
Oh, these are images I haven't seen in my head for a long time.
These are images that I have been seeing on a regular basis because my almost
Wow.
3-year-old is obsessed with Godzilla,
Godzilla,
Gamera, and Mothra right now.
Godzilla. Yeah.
So it's been
Fantastic.
great.
This is
And Kelly loves
fantastic.
Mothra.
I mean, it's a giant moth. Everybody likes Mothra. That's how it is.
Says this is how I know I'm with my people. You know Gamera. I don't only know Gamera, I have Gamera statues. Oh man. Okay. Says I get the volcano notifications, and basically they're saying that the equivalent of the lovely beaches will be open for summer. Okay, great. That's a Jaws reference.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff happening, but it's all chaotic. And you're
Yeah,
right;
it's very
these things can
chaotic.
cause a lot of patterns and whatnot. Inject into that the extreme paranoia, and you
Yep.
have the makings of the modern world right now.
Yeah, what's unfortunate, one thing that is unfortunate when it comes to some of these volcanoes, particularly the one in Indonesia, it if I understand correctly, it completely wiped out one of the sites where they were doing work on the Homo the Hobbit.
Oh, the Naladi or whatever it is,
Naledi was in Africa.
Naledi.
This was
Oh,
the Homo florenziensis.
Florensis. Yeah,
Yep.
Florensis. Wow.
Yeah.
So
See, we get
that's how easy it is to just wipe it away.
yeah.
See how that works?
We got Oz said we do the same thing. We monitor some of those volcano. Ron I know has one of the apps. I've got one of the apps where we've all used seismic activity. And I'm curious too if how many like UAP sightings were around those areas with the seismic activity. Because generally, when
Agreed.
there's earthquakes,
Mhm.
it's like that release of energy in the earth from the earth attracts some stuff.
Agreed. And a lot of folks think that, yeah, was it the earthquakes were the cause of some earth lights,
Yeah,
because of the massive amounts of quartz that's been ground, and that's true. If you ground a quartz, it does light up. Trust me, I know this.
it does.
It's very true. It does do that.
And
So
it's so cool. If you do it in the
yeah,
dark and you have a piece of
it lights
sandstone
up.
and a quartz, you can just rub it.
It'll light up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. TFG
Noted.
says, I haven't heard anything notable regarding Rainier. In 2009, there was a swarm of around 1,000 over 3 days. Okay. So it might not be terribly out of the ordinary then, or it could just be a
I mean,
cyclical thing where about
that's the
every, you know, 15 years or so.
that's the thing about these things. Everyone looks for these quick, you know, the quick answer to these, but we're talking about geological time on a lot of these things too. Um,
Well, in
th-
Wyoming, speaking of geological time, you
mm,
can view it. Have you
yeah,
seen the crack that's opened up in Wyoming?
yeah,
They're
yeah,
watching and measuring that thing daily. And if there's a
yeah,
big enough slip, holy
y-
cow.
yep, yeah. It's true. I mean, so there are these instances, and there are these other instances that are taking place as well.
Have you heard about the SMOC, the Antarctic equivalent of the Gulf Stream, and how it's now running backwards? And they think that it changed in 2015, and that's why the Antarctic ice has been melting so fast.
No,
I haven't seen that at all. I will have to take a look into
no.
that because I did know what the SMOC was, but I hadn't heard anything about it shifting.
Dances
Dan
with
says,
oars
"Thank you,
just
thank you,
put
thank
us
you."
one notch closer to the grand goal for tonight. Man, you guys nailed it tonight.
Klingman's year without a summer. What if we had that today? It would be
Mhm,
very, very bad.
mhm, mhm. Well,
It was bad then.
it was interesting, LW, you brought that up because, there's a lot of folks who believe that was caused by an actual, possible, meteorite impact,
Yeah.
on the other side, of the Earth at some place. And of course, there was no news, so no one knew where it was, what it was, anything. But there's a lot who believe that that's what happened. Now, I'm going to inject a little bit of speculation with you guys into how bad this can go because that's just a fun guy I am. I
Fun
like
guy.
so imagine, if you will, we're in this cycle, we're in this area like Joe painted, where we have the ring of fire, we've got, you know, um, dust in the atmosphere. Things get a little cooler, right? So forth and so on. And let's say our little visiting friend there decides to smash into the moon, like they said, there's 4% chance going to,
Yeah.
and it decides to create this massive, like we showed you, what the paper said. It's going to be kilograms and kilograms, of material.
Yep.
Everyone's thinking right now that's just small stuff. It's grains of rice. It's going to look like a pretty meteor shower, but there could be some big chunks that get through there. I'm just saying it could happen. And I'm not talking about city killers. I'm talking about, big enough chunk. You don't need very big, by the way.
Mm.
You only need a Tunguska sized event
Yep.
to really throw things into more chaos when you're already setting into a chaotic weather pattern or a chaotic geological stress situation. And that's what you would have. So, like LW is talking about, the basically, why don't you explain what that was, Joe? What happened there? There was literally no summer.
Yeah, that's right.
So think about this. Crops, they failed.
Yes, they did.
Um, I forget how cold it was, but it got cold. And
Did get cold. The year was
that's
1816
it.
is when
That's it.
it happened. I wanted to look up the specific
Yep.
year, so that's what I just did.
Yep.
And like Ron said, they believed and linked that to now that there could have been some kind of an impact on the other side of the planet, or it was also theorized that it could have been a series of volcanoes that went off and spewed a ton of ash into the sky. And essentially, what happened, there was ash falling here. That in the summer it was snowing, you know, and the snow was laced with ash, so it was like a gray snow. Um, it was it was a 1 year period.
Yep.
It caused all the crops to fail. It caused a lot of confusion because
Oh
when
yeah.
your crops fail, the crops aren't the only thing that fail. If your crops are failing, then the food sources in the forest are failing too.
Exactly. Ecosystem.
And the whole ecosystem goes into chaos,
Yep.
right? And it was a very, very, very interesting year. And a lot of people thought it was the end of the world.
Yes. Yep.
Um, but then, the ash cleared, everything settled, and the world was made right, found equilibrium. And then we had the summer the next year and everything was okay. But there was a lot of people that did die
Of course. I mean,
because there was a famine
yeah.
that year. Jordan Booker, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy to do my part.
Jordan.
Thank you to from your Thursday family. Thank you.
Jordan just put us
Um,
over the goal, guys. That was our 10 goal. Anything else from here is just going to be extra. So bless every single one of you. Joe, roll the blessings for these folks
that's what
because
I'm getting ready to do. We're gonna run a string of them, folks. Here we
give them.
go. This one's for Lisa. Beth says, I just caught something weird. I'm watching the show, so you hear yourself in the background, but I sent it to email.
Okay.
All right, cool. What was it? Was it like an audio? Because she has been getting some weird audio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been some weird audio from up that way. Well,
Alice says Vermont had snow every month that year. Yeah.
yeah. See, so again, imagine with me here. Oh, and by the way, my favorite program of nearly all time is coming back next Monday. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Life Without People is returning.
Really?
Yes, it
That
is.
was such a good show.
Yes, it is. And some of the video that they showed is just beautiful. So anyway, if you're into that kind of stuff, there you
I
go.
am. Hashtag Team Big Rock.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's awesome. But anyway, so imagine we have this stress situation on the planet, right? And then all of a sudden something happens to teeter that, just a nudge. You don't
Yeah.
need much at that point, okay? And then you've entered into this spiral of basically the planet trying to right itself.
Yes.
That's where we get the chaos. That's where chaos theory happens. That's where the jet stream changes. That's where we get all these crazy byproducts and spin-offs from just a small input. This is exactly how hurricanes form, by the way. It's the
Right.
exact same way that
Just on a
hurricanes
grander
form.
scale, it
It's just
affects
on a
the
grander
entire
scale.
globe.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And, our geomagnetics aren't permanent.
Yeah. Well, they
They're
move.
they move, but it's very possible that they could also get just blown away,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And if we have a year where we lose some of that protection, we're in trouble. The whole planet's in trouble. Everything gets scorched, right?
Right.
But call me crazy. It's almost like the Earth is kind of alive in the sense it's like, hey, yeah, no, we need this debris.
Okay. Okay. That is basics of Gaia theory.
Yeah, it is.
That's what that is. That is the basics of Gaia theory. And it doesn't mean, I think a lot of people misinterpret it and think that it means Earth is 100% alive. But what it means is everything's interconnected,
Mm-hmm.
which means that it makes this massive organism, which it kind of is. If you
Kind
think
of is.
about a coral reef, that's what they say about coral reefs, right?
Yeah.
If we hear the stories of the largest thing on Earth is the largest creature on Earth is a coral reef, well, it's not. It's a
It's made of
billions of little,
microscopic
yeah,
polyps.
yeah,
And within
separate.
the polyps, it's zooanthal. And we're the polyps and the ants are the zooanthal and
Yeah,
all the microbes. And
yeah,
it is kind of, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense to a degree.
yeah.
And but it goes in the pattern, and it also shows the cyclical nature of the world.
It does. It absolutely does. So, I'm not saying that that is going to happen. So don't anyone misquote me on that. I'm not saying, we're going to hit by a big rock and it's going to, throw everything. Shut up, Joe. It's going to throw everything into complete chaos. But I'm saying that we're at a dangerous point right now. Okay. And I'm going to stick to this big rock theory thing because it really aggravates me when you know the truth about planetary defense. I'm going to get on a tangent here because this bothers me. How many of you guys know how many people are responsible for the protection of this planet under the planetary defense, NASA's planetary defense? How many of you guys know how many people work at that?
It's probably like 8.
Joe, won't you look that up? I know how many it is, and it's going to floor you. I'm going to tell you right now that more people worked on the filming of Paranormal Horizons than are watching for asteroids and asteroid mitigation on this planet. That's a fact.
Let's see. Oh, geez.
Yep.
I was off by 1.
Yep.
It's 7.
It is.
Approximately.
Approximately. It's
7 people.
6 to 7 people.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. That's how
Oh
many
my God.
people are actively engaged on a government level trying to figure out where these things are coming from, and watching out the window as we move down the highway, so to speak.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's terrifying. That's not
Jordan's
crazy.
up to
That's
6
terrifying.
people. Gen 3, I mean, at this rate, I wouldn't be shocked that it goes down to that. How many
My,
of those 6 people are sitting there playing on their phone?
oh yeah, absolutely. You
You
know,
know?
so the thing, and I brought that up because we just discovered this new one, right? That we've all been talking about, Dave and the rest of us. How
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. Please hit me.
that
No,
one.
that's not that. It's the
That well,
AX113PL3EZ.
yeah,
It
that's the
looks like
one.
it's please. That's how I remember. Please
I know
hit
why
me.
you remember the name, but I'll be honest, if this one hits us, we're done. Okay, I just wanted to let y'all know
Oh, yeah.
that's a big one. So that's
Yeah,
that's
it's 3 miles wide.
that's dinosaur time. You're done. So what I'm trying to
It
say
might not even
here,
be a dinosaur time. That might be like crack the egg, you're done,
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
3 miles wide,
it's big, man. It's
and
big.
that's just the width. That's not the mass. This is just
Yeah,
it's 3 miles
it's big. It's
or
very
3
big.
no, 3 kilometers.
3 kilometers. Yeah.
If a 3-kilometer object struck the planet,
I'll make a graphics representation for it for you for next week. That's what I'll do for you.
yeah,
I will make
it'd be
sure that
like
you can see what
swinging a
this looks like.
baseball bat at a watermelon.
It's pretty bad, but good news is Earth will be fine.
Yeah, it would wind up killing everything here.
Oh yeah, absolutely everything. Everything. Well, I wouldn't say killing everything. That's kind of rough. I would say that it would restart everything.
Well,
It
yeah,
would
it could.
wipe away almost what
3 kilometers
90.
might actually be enough to like
98, 99% of the life, something like that, probably. Yeah.
Well, the thing is with 3 kilometers, it with impact and everything else, if it doesn't completely strip the atmosphere,
Well, that's true. That's true.
because
But
that's a possibility with one that big.
it is. It is. It
With
is.
entry and impact, the force could strip the atmosphere out. And
Yeah.
if it didn't
Yeah.
strip atmosphere, then you're talking it would be
Hmm?
amphibians, some amphibians and roaches and things like that would survive.
Yeah. Start all over.
Yeah.
Literally. So here's my thing about that though. This isn't a doom and gloom show, by the way. I'm just getting off on
It
this
is a
tangent.
different show.
Okay. That's cool. So my thing is that we have 6 people or 7 people, if you want to be optimistic, that are supposed to be in charge of watching where we're going and determining what we do if we see, the bug that's way out there heading for us, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones. However, how many people do we have developing weapons of mass destruction around this planet?
Well, there's 8 billion humans. So I'd say at least 6 billion of those.
No, it was, I mean, my whole point is that we have
Right.
more people worried about new ways and interesting ways to destroy ourselves rather than ways to prevent us from being destroyed. There is something wrong with that. There is something very wrong with that.
Was the meteor that big or was the crater I thought the crater was 10 to 15 kilometers.
I don't recall. I'll be 100% with you.
Yeah. I can't remember that one. And then there are even people now that there's certain paleontologists that think that it wasn't related to a meteor strike now.
No, this is a Terran mothership. Everyone knows this.
Right.
Yeah. They were coming after the I forget what those guys were called back then. It's the reptiles guys y'all worry about now. They were coming after them.
Terry said there have been several that have slipped between the Earth and the Moon, and no one saw them until they had passed.
Exactly. And that's my whole point. So, while we're out here worrying about stupid stuff that we can control, it's the things that we can't control that are going to sneak up and possess. That's the biggest threat that we have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just got off on a tangent on that. I'm sorry if that, was too much or, what have you, but that does aggravate me so much.
So with this whole the Ring of Fire coming back to life and being
I
extremely
just
active.
keep
This is the
hearing
most
Johnny
active we've
Cash
seen
every
it.
time you say that.
Jumped right in.
Every
I
time.
have
We used to play that, and I swear, like, I
Ring of Fire.
yep, I can hear that starting right up. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
I've got that original vinyl over in the library over here. Anyway, um, the Ring of Fire waking up, it does pose a lot of questions because there was also that explosion. There's been a lot of volcanic activity around Santorini.
Mm.
There's been a lot of volcanic activity around the Mediterranean, the Ring of Fire. Now there's stuff starting to wake up. There was a whole new thermal geyser that popped up in New Mexico. Did you see that a few weeks back?
I don't think I saw that one, Joe.
Yeah, there was no, it wasn't a geyser, but it was it basically is a thermal vent that opened up in New Mexico in the middle of a street and was just blowing steam.
Uh, Beth wants to know how we know this stuff that no one else thinks to look up because we get bored at work
Yes.
and
We
we
get bored at work
pass
and when we were
news.
kids and in school, we were geeks.
It's like that. If you were geeks and you get bored easily at work, this is just a natural progression.
Yes.
Yeah. We're the guys that, you see on like Independence Day. Remember the guy who's sitting there watching the screen and then all of a sudden all the, all the things show up, the little dots show up and it's like, oh, holy crap. Yeah, that's us.
Yep.
We're those people.
Yep. Campi Gary, the super volcano near Naples. Yep. The Dino Killer asteroid was approximately 10 to 15 kilometers. Crater was 150 kilometers.
There you go. That's it. Yeah, because it created the whole friggin' Gulf,
6 million people live on top of the super volcano.
Man. Humans are stupid.
I know, right?
You build your homes on top of things that explode. That's just dumb.
Yes, there was a big mud eruption at Yellowstone
Yeah.
about a week and a half ago.
It was almost a year from the one that happened a year earlier. Remember
Yeah,
that? But it was bigger. The one last year was actually bigger.
right.
Like it threw a bunch of crap in the air.
I was going to ask the same question, Beth. You two talk about so much esoteric stuff.
Oh, this is normal.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can't
This
we
is the
can't
reason
we
we
can't
started
talk
Wild and Weird
about.
Radio. The reason we started Wild and Weird Radio was because of the talks we had on the road and at work, and it just seemed to be fitting. Why not just have these with a larger group of people? And then Wayne really just gave us the kick in the butt to do it.
Yeah. There's some things we can't talk about. Trust me. It's just
Oh yeah,
we don't want to. We're not those people. There are people who would run with that stuff and
Mhm.
clickety clickbait, but we don't talk about stuff we can't confirm. And
Yep.
even
And
if it
even
says
though some of that
speculation,
the earth science stuff is we do get a little speculative with some of it, so do the scientists.
right? This is
Because Earth does seem to behave like an organism. Whether we want to acknowledge that or not, it does seem to behave. It is a little chaotic, but it does seem to behave like an organism, where it has these moments where it essentially breathes, and
yeah.
it has these moments where it goes into moods that change, and it changes the whole environment, and you'll see major environmental shifts, and some of those take eons to pass by, but here we are.
Jeff's here, and he brought up a very good point. They are not smart. Talking about humans.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true, man. Being at ground zero. I mean, maybe that's the goal. I
That
don't
could be
know.
the goal. Like, it's
Could
just
be the
like,
goal.
boom, you don't feel
Yeah,
it.
that could be
You're
the
there,
goal.
you're eating, you're drinking your wine, you're enjoying the countryside that's
Yeah,
on top of the mountain and all the beauty of the city one minute,
yeah,
and then the next, nothing.
yeah. That's possible. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe that's their retirement plan. I don't know. Anyway,
When do we get Wild and Weird VR World? You know that was actually a thing that we were working on for a while, but there's not enough people that have VR headsets to really get into doing it.
not yet.
But
So that
we have the stuff to do it.
yeah.
It was something we were going to do during
Oh
the
yeah.
pandemic,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
during the shutdowns.
We had some really cool stuff, and there has been content developed for VR. Joe's
Yep.
seen it. He's walked inside the Point Pleasant, the old North Power Plant at this point. So, yeah, that's a thing. That's real.
We took and recorded 360 footage of nature hikes where we can take you out in the woods.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff, but it's
And
just it's a niche.
niche.
Yeah, it's
Very
not really.
niche, and not enough people have VR headsets to really justify the time, because it's a lot more editing than just traditional editing.
It's a lot more work.
So,
okay.
I
So
would like to know why all these weird sky anomalies are all of a sudden starting to show up in full force all over, things that we used to never see with our naked eye. Well, we're getting ready to go into some of that right now, Beth.
okay, there's a
Good
segue.
transition.
So, how many of you guys got to see Ross Cohart do his flippity flip? And pretty much just he knows for a fact that the Tic Tac was a product of Lockheed Martin. I mean, you guys knew about that story. Well, let me tell you a little thing about that first of all, okay? Because you're gonna like this story. This is funny. We're always looking for patterns, right? So the guy I work with, I made a prediction last week with him. I said, he said, when do you think the next thing they're going to talk about is going to happen? We do this from time to time, and I hit him pretty regularly. But he said, when do you think the next big thing is going to happen? I said, well, it's going to be probably, if I had to guess, it'll either be around the anniversary of the Roswell crash, or it'll be the anniversary of the cover up of the Roswell crash. And this absolutely happened. From what I can see, around July 7th.
Yeah.
With July 8th being the anniversary of the, General Ramey empties Roswell saucer headline, the retraction of the original story.
Enzo said, sure, they are. We make them for the tall whites.
Tall whites.
So so Ross flipping.
Yep.
Um,
Ross flipping. That's a new game we're gonna play at the next meeting.
yeah, I know, right?
We're gonna get little Ross cohort figures and see who
Flip
can
them.
flip them over. Yeah.
This
No, I've got some clips, so we're gonna look at it. I want to know everybody because
oh, okay.
everybody's done this and they played the one clip and they just play the one clip and the one clip only. That's it. So we got the whole thing that we can look at and dissect because there's a little more to this than what he said.
There is, but there still seems to be a a jarring halt of information. And before we go into it and before we start watching the clips, I do want to draw a parallel. The current administration ran on a
A disclosure platform.
disclosure platform of
Yep.
disclosing UFOs,
Oh, everything.
disclosing everything. JFK, Martin Luther King, the Epstein files, all of these deep state conspiracy type things. Okay. Ran on a platform of it. Everybody, the media, the elected officials, with the exception of Luna and Burleson and Burchett. And then um, the president,
Yep.
Ross Colhart,
Yep.
and I separate him from the media
Yeah.
solely because he does stuff that's not just media based. He does some documentarian work. He does some writing and whatnot. But I wanted to separate him because he has, in the last 2 years, become a figure in the UFO community. What most people don't know is that he was formerly a debunker. Remember that. Okay. Keep that in mind. All of a sudden, this guy flips, turns, starts running the script that UFOs are here. He's following all these stories, hook, line, and sinker. And then suddenly, the whole script gets flipped in 1 week. Over the period of 1 week, we see the executive office, we see the legislative count like groups, the House and Senate. We see media flip, and all of a sudden, everything comes full stop. Oh no, nothing to see here, folks.
Right.
Is what it feels like, and some of it was actually basically said, "There's nothing to see here. There's
No.
nothing to see here,
Yeah.
folks."
Yeah.
That is extremely concerning to me because to me, and I'm not Mr. Big conspiracy guy. I'm ex-military. I'm trust me, I'm in on a lot of conspiracy stuff. I understand it, and I do buy into some things, but like I don't chase them. It's not the source
Right.
of my day to day. But this, more than anything that we've seen since the Patriot Act, is like Big Daddy G showed up and said point blank to everybody, shut up and shut up now or else. And the whole thing flipped and everybody stopped. And then it's like nothing to see here. It's swamp gas. It's Lockheed Martin's swamp gas project.
I don't know, man.
There
I
is
don't
no
know what's
list.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'll be 100% with you, but I do know this. I think that the word conspiracy theory is used wrong.
No, you're right. 100%. Conspiracy theories are just 6 weeks off the media cycle.
Mhm. Right. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, right? That's where we're at now.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm going to
En-
play,
Enzo said, do
one of
they make
these.
them near Ross's crashed UFO that's so big they couldn't move it, so they had to build a building around it?
Possibly. It's possible. Let's see if I can get this thing to play. If it'll do it, we'll see. Right now, it's just spinning. So, I may
Well, they
drop
did
out
update
into
the
infinity.
player.
Oh, wait, it's showing it. All right. We might have a chance, folks. Let's see what happens.
Sweet.
I don't get excited yet. It hasn't happened. All right, where are you? You are in this file right here. Okay, so we're gonna play clip number one, and let's see. Here we go. There we go.
What you just said, we should assume then a Manhattan Project style endeavor is ongoing right now to try to catch up. Do you hear anything about that?
Well, part of the problem that I'm hearing from people in the program is that effort isn't happening, and that they're seeing the Chinese particularly developing advances that are far beyond what we're capable of. There is, in fact, a frustration that a large part of this program has been egregiously underfunded, and that a lot of what has been developed has been kept secret by the private aerospace companies that control it.
Okay, so this is from Need to Know, and there is a link in the description of the video. You can go watch the whole thing. I suggest you do. It's really fascinating. Again, there's only little pieces that have been kind of shared from this. We're going to share a little bit bigger chunks. So what Ross is drawing here is he's painting this picture of a project, a program, a secret program. And he's trying to say that this secret program is operating above and beyond basically what anyone else would know. That there's also a foreign asset to this, even though that's been taken off the table multiple times at this point. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, there's no way.
No, oh yeah, it gets better. It gets better. So
There's
let me
no
go
way it's a
for
foreign asset. If it was a foreign asset,
okay. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Let's not go there yet. Clip number 2 is where he says, makes the big revelation. So here it is.
I'm going to leave you with one thought today, Bryce. I now know categorically that the Tic Tac is Lockheed Martin technology.
Okay.
Categorically, guys. He knows. He doesn't think. He doesn't speculate. He knows.
So what did he do? Did he sit out in his backyard, call one of these things down, and see the LM-0 whatever tail number?
I don't know.
The Tic Tac is Lockheed Martin technology. Why are we being lied to?
Oh, I'd like to know that answer. Anyone? Why are we being lied to, Ross? We would love to know this. Why are you being lied to, and why are you allowing yourself to be lied to? I'm sorry.
The way that I would have phrased that same sentence and made it way more
Could we be
palatable for the
lying
world
to?
is if just
we're
the
being
word
lied
if
to.
at the front, if it is Lockheed Martin technology, why are we being lied to?
Yeah, that would make more sense. Anyway, here we go.
This is the issue. Why is the United States government now participating at White House executive level in collusion with the national security state to keep secret the fact that they've made these advances? I suspect it's because they've realized that they're being overtaken by their foreign adversaries, and they don't want you to know that.
I want to know what foreign adversary to you and me,
right,
he's even talking about at this point. Wait,
the F-22.
There's more.
Is the meanest MFer in the sky that the planet Earth has ever seen, that is built of Earth technology.
Mm-hmm.
It can't hold a candle to a Tic Tac.
No, it can't.
What I'm saying basically is,
why are you saying this, by the way? Where is this from? How do we know this? What's going on?
I'm sorry, Bryce, I can't go there. But yeah. What I'm telling you is I'm increasingly thinking that we're not looking at the right issue. The issue
we're not.
Is there NHI? There is, absolutely there is, and the US knows that full blown, beyond any shadow of a doubt. And they know that they're trying to develop technology from that NHI tech. And it's been a secret now for 80, 90 years that they've desperately tried to keep using intimidation, threats, murder, and it's failed. It's slowly starting to creak open. I think there's been a complacency here, just like there was a complacency prior to 9/11. And the genuine scientific concern is that we are being overtaken by our adversaries.
It's not, though. And if these are our adversaries and they're not from here, if that's what they're really getting at here, we're in trouble.
That's what I was getting ready to say. What if he's implying that our adversaries, that the Tic Tac was our attempt to outpace them, but their tech is so much far beyond what we were able to rebuild from Roswell and prior that we're just screwed.
I mean, he even
is he implying that there's a galactic war heading our way?
He didn't say that.
He didn't.
But he does say
adversary.
He does. And after that, he actually does quantify adversary as being something from here or something from possibly somewhere else. So without saying it, he sort of said that, and people are just kind of letting this go. And they're just focusing on the clip that Ross said that, the Tic Tac was, it follows with the Wall Street Journal. It really doesn't.
Right.
But, if you watch the One Vetted episode, which was pretty good, I know Patrick had a clip on there with Jeremy. And last year, Jeremy said that he was also, he talked to David Fravor, and said that David Fravor said, look, there was a guy from the CIA who approached me and told me that this is Lockheed Martin technology. And he basically told him he didn't know what he was talking about. Apparently, they think David Fravor is an idiot. For you guys who might want to hear from David Fravor, I got this for you.
David Fravor, I'm a retired commander in the United States Navy. In 2004, I was a commanding officer of Strike Fighter Squadron 41, the world-famous Black Aces. We were attached to Carrier Wing 11, stationed on board the USS Nimitz, and had begun a 2-month workup cycle off the coast of California. On this day, we were scheduled for a 2v2 air-to-air training with the USS Princeton as our control. When we launched off Nimitz, my wingman was joining up. We were told that the training was going to be suspended and we were going to proceed with real-world tasking. As we proceeded to the west, the air controller was counting down the range to an object that we were going to, and we were unaware of what we were going to see when we arrived. The controller told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down from over 80,000 feet, rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space.
Yes, that's space. And they were literally drop it down, go back up. Drop it down, go back up. They were exhibiting flight patterns that we just can't do. But it's us, right? So
I'm getting ready to give you guys some specs
approximately
here.
20,000 feet in a controller called merge plot, which means that our radar blip was now in the same resolution cell as the contact. As we looked around, we noticed that we saw some whitewater off our right side. It's important to note that the weather on this day was as close to perfect as you could ask for off the coast of San Diego.
It's important to note that they omitted this from any explanations about the Tic Tac.
Clear skies, light winds, calm seas, no whitecaps from waves. So the whitewater stood out in a large blue ocean. All 4 of us, because we were in F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down and saw a white Tic Tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings. As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look with the other aircraft staying in high cover to observe both us and the Tic Tac. We proceeded around the circle about 90 degrees from the start of our descent, and the object suddenly shifted its longitudinal axis, aligned it with my aircraft, and began to climb. We continued down another 270 degrees, nose low, where the Tic Tac, or we considered 270 degrees to where, and we went nose low to where the Tic Tac would have been. Our altitude at this point was about 15,000 feet, and the Tic Tac was about 12,000. As we pulled nose onto the object, within about a half mile of it, It rapidly accelerated in front of us and disappeared. Our wingmen, roughly 8,000 feet above us, lost contact also. We immediately turned back to see where the whitewater was at, and it was gone also. So as you started to turn back towards the east, the controller came up and said, "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but that thing is at your cat point, roughly 60 miles away in less than a minute."
Now, that last point, we can't do that.
We can't do that.
If we could do that, this time frame when this occurred, when was the Tic Tac first observed?
2004.
The Nimitz?
2004.
2004. That was the year after I enlisted in the U.S. Air Force. We were already the dominant force on the planet, but there would have been no point for some of the needless deaths if we had capabilities that we could have just rolled up in one of those things and been like, oh yeah, we're here right now. But at the same time, we're also right here before you could even blink.
Right.
There'd be no need for that. I know I got fueled up on a tangent about this a little over a month ago, but it stands.
Well, I agree.
You know, I put too many friends in the ground because of that whole mess. And if they could have stopped it, because just one of those things could have completely ended every escalation of force. Now, going over here to some of the comments, and then I'm going to give you some specs on what Commander Fravor was talking about with the aces. Okay.
Yeah.
So Enzo says it may be one of those, if you knew the truth, it would be to shake the foundations of all you know kind of thing for all of those topics. It might be why it was covered up to begin with. Yeah, it's the whole ontological shock thing.
It is. Yeah.
We've looked at that, but like how many people would really be shook to the foundations? Where are the foundations anymore? No one knows.
Well, they've been moved.
They've been moved. The things are so convoluted anymore. Yeah, in the 1960s, 50s, up to the 80s, maybe. Who knows? But not anymore, I don't think. Matt Carter, the government is never going to tell us. I don't know why anyone believed that Trump would. Why would the government reveal that they've been lying about killing, etc., for decades? That's a valid point.
Yeah.
The problem is once you say you have lied about UFOs, and the question is, what else have we lied about? And we brought that up here on the show on the recorded version when we were doing the history of UFOs. You know, what else? What kind of Pandora's box does that open?
Yeah. And in that full interview, Ross does talk about that, by the way.
Good.
That there could be international crimes that were committed, blah, blah, blah.
Which we brought up here first.
Same thing. Yeah. Same thing.
They can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. And the thing that the government had going for them in the Project Blue Book days is that people trusted the government.
Yeah. Back then they did.
Then they did. And now today we're like, yes, bring on the welder machines and dozers. The Matt Carter said, I would assume if Russia and China had this tech by now, Taiwan and Ukraine would be toast.
Well,
you're exactly right. And that's
100%.
That's the point that I was going to make. This skirmish that's going on between Ukraine and Russia would have been over on day one if they had it.
Wouldn't be one.
Same thing with Russia and Taiwan. Like you said, Taiwan would have been absorbed into mainland Chinese. So
wouldn't be one.
Yeah. Taiwan would just be part of the People's Republic at this point.
Yeah. And according to Ross, they've cracked it. They've got this technology. We don't. Bull crap. I don't believe that for a second. Not a second.
I think the body stature is made over on Bryce.
I don't know what's going on, but I can tell you that there's a lot of things here that don't make sense. And we'll just listen to Fravor's closing remarks here.
Closing, I would like to say that the Tic Tac object we engaged in 2004 was far superior to anything that we had on time, have today, or are looking to develop in the next 10 years. If we in fact have programs that possess this technology, it needs to have oversight from those people that the citizens of this great country elected in office to represent what is best for the United States and best for the citizens. I thank you for your time.
Yeah. It don't exist. Much less it being China, much less it being Russia. These are fear games. These are the games that people play across the globe because they want you to focus on that rather than the fact that there's something else going on. Now, what that something else is, I don't know. I don't know. We speculated multiple times on what it could be. What secret could be so great that it risks this? You know, there's a few of them.
Now, going back to the aces. When it comes to the aces, the squadron is made up of a series of FA-18F, okay? That is your FA-18 fighter jets. What is an FA-18? That is what we call the Super Hornet. This is a hypersonic it's a hypersonic aircraft, okay? This thing has been the epitome of air dominance for ages. They've been a forward assist. They have always been like our forward deployment aircraft on any naval vessel. When we send the Navy somewhere and they're going to go set up like a naval presence is like a show of force, the aces are on that ship. Now, to give some specs on the FA-18, it is a multi-role fighter designed for both air-to-air and air-to-air, air-to-ground combat. It is a supersonic twin-engine aircraft capable of carrying a wide array of weapons and operating from aircraft carriers, which means this thing can take off and land on an aircraft carrier or from a strip. Doesn't matter. Its whole role, the reason that we created it was for air superiority. Because of its functionality and how versatile this aircraft is, it was also moved into fighter escorts for, KC-130s, KC-10s, basically all of our carrier groups and cargo planes. Then it was moved into suppression for enemy air defense, well, for obvious reasons. This thing is extremely agile in the air. It can turn on a dime. And sometimes because of that turning on a dime, the pilots pass out. And that's on a dime in an FA-18. And on a dime in an FA-18 to pull a U-turn, it would take the entire state of Ohio. Just keep
Think
that
about that.
At Mach 2, it would take a turn to turn around to face the opposite direction the entire width of Ohio. So, tic-tac. That's ours, right? Now, the suppression of enemy air defenses. That means that these things can also take on and engage ground to air. So they can specifically target air defense systems. They also have unparalleled. Well, I can't say unparalleled because the F-22 is my favorite. But they have a very, very, very high precision guided weapons and can absolutely wreak havoc both day or night, sun up, sundown. It doesn't matter. These things are a dominant powerhouse.
Yeah, that's their goal. That's what they were made for. But according to what Ross is saying, Joe, he's saying that Lockheed Martin operates with someone who is operating above and beyond the United States Department of Defense at a higher level because they have the privilege and exclusive rights to overfly military exercises.
Are there 12 members on this team?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, do you know what you're even saying at this point, Ross?
Yeah.
This is terrifying because if that's the case, if what you're saying is true, and notice I use the if because I don't know. If
Right.
what you're saying is true, then we do have a very big issue here. And the very big issue is that someone is way above government here playing with toys and technology that the rest of us don't have. And we need to figure out what that's all about.
Agreed. Because if we don't have that technology in our defense department, where is it?
Yeah, good question.
Who is it defending?
Exactly. See you, Trackway. Have a good one. Yeah, I don't know. And what's the purpose of it? There's my better question for you, buddy. If we've had it for, since 2004, even if we were testing it in 2004, what do we do? bring it out and fly it over farm fields for farmers to see?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you do that? Oh, I know what Greer would say. Oh, they're doing that to fake the alien
Trying
invasion.
to fake invasion.
No, that's not how that works. There are much easier ways to fake an alien invasion.
Right.
You don't need 20-some-year-old technology to do that. You don't
You
need
can
it.
use AI that was released to the public 15 minutes ago.
Exactly. 15 minutes from now. I mean, that we're talking
Right.
about, incredibly fast systems at this point. But no, what I'm saying, it doesn't just, there's no logic here. And, where does that leave us at this point? I don't know, but it does put us in a place where we have to have these deeper conversations about what could be happening at this right now.
It absolutely does. So I'm going to bring up a topic here. If this is a adversarial component
Mm-hmm.
we can't keep up with, who is it? And are some of these bizarre up and coming UFO cults worshiping what is our adversary?
And that would be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Right?
But let's be real. We don't know what adversarial implies here.
Right. We don't. Whose adversary is it? Is it the U.S. government's adversary? Because if that's the case, it's not mean it's my adversary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is true. If they wanted to destroy us, we'd have been gone a long time ago. And I've said that multiple times. That's true. But what if they are not all the only they? And this is where we get into the issue. This is where we get into the, the Star Trek speculation.
The Galactic
What?
Federation.
Well, what if
Bobby Loeb said
they?
there was one.
Right. And what if you have something that's kind of like, I'll to throw it into Star Trek, like the Borg, which was an absolutely unstoppable, indomitable force. It didn't matter how many allies you had, you weren't gonna beat the Borg. That was,
you will be assimilated.
You will be assimilated, right?
Enzo says, was he implying that the breakaway civilization idea is the adversary?
I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. He seems to think it's China, though, and it's not China. I think we can flat out categorically say with confidence, this is not China.
Yeah.
Are the drones that are flying around some of the bases? I don't know. Frankly, those are drones, and we told you what we think that is.
And it's very easy to do some of those L-band frequency systems where you can fly a drone using that stuff and kind of go undetected, and it's not necessarily something that you can turn off from, say, a mock tower, but it is something that you could use the Jericho to take down.
Yeah.
You could use that anti-drone system to knock it out of the sky.
I mean, you can use a lot of things, but my point being, we're not doing that with the TikTok. And I think that is where
a lot of the hardware was donated to humanity, but
the original
owners
disabled
disabled the weapon system.
Well, that's thought.
Enzo says it's not China. They're very good at stealing stuff and spying, not so good at coming up with things on their own. It's a valid point.
Well, I think the point is that he's trying to make is this is NHI technology. They got it and they've cracked the code before we have. Again, the evidence says no, they have not. Their big fear is, the next, like he was saying, 9/11, like there's a big Pearl Harbor moment that's coming. I'm going to tell you this. If they could do this in 2004, guys, that moment would have already happened. Okay. Would have already happened.
It would have happened when our military was in a weakened state.
Yeah.
We were going through the base realignment and closures during 2008, 9, I think all the way up to 2012.
There were multiple points where this could have happened.
It would have been near the end of 2012 that our military would have been, because we were stretched out across the world playing world police.
Yeah, we were.
And we were going through the base realignment and closures globally, not just here. That would have been the time to do one of those types of events. Our response would have been hampered.
Yeah.
Could it be the Antarctica civilization?
Well, there's something.
Grockner76, thanks for joining us.
Well, there's something.
Well, that's a good one to sit and talk about for a second, though.
Hmm? There's something.
There's been tons of talk ever since Colonel or Admiral Byrd.
Oh yeah,
about the Antarctic civilization.
That's right.
And then there's been things. You've got that one area in Antarctica where it's just warmer for no reason,
which is strange. Yeah,
in the middle of a glacier, it's like, oh yeah, it's like 72 degrees inside the ice.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, Vincent Ellison, who are the ring makers? Yeah, that's a good Tolkien reference. I dig it.
True. This all started somewhere.
Tic Tacs get officially revealed, then SUV drones in the sky all over the world. Sounds like you get used to seeing these things, right?
Yeah, right. That's how simulation works, right, guys?
It is.
Know how it works?
Agreed. Many opportunities to damage the U.S. military that were not taken.
Yep. And they would have took them. Come on, let's be real here.
Project High Jump.
No, yeah, there you go. It's High Jump. Guys, if you have not, we're so bad at this. Please do take time to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Yeah. And
we're really bad at housekeeping.
Get this out. We just don't do it. I mean, that's our problem. We start talking and we forget to stop talking long enough to tell you to do that.
But the thing is, we're just as entertained by this conversation as you are. Oh, this isn't scripted. Like we have a plot point here and there where we want to go, but the conversation's real.
Yeah. Yeah, it's legit. It's organic. So, yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know what to make of a lot of the stuff that's happening right now with the whole UFO thing. I told Joe and I told the person that I made this other prediction with that if we're right about the dates lining up on these, because it almost seems like there's some kind of it's not really a timeline, but it's kind of a calendar of events that they seem to schedule these things on, these releases and all these, things, the big revelations, that if you look back at the pattern, you can kind of trace it back and see where it's going to go and etc. So if I'm right, we should see something big as far as UFO disclosure, etc. And I don't mean disclosure, but it'll be
in that wheelhouse.
Yeah, in that wheelhouse. And it's probably going to deal with national defense because the last one ended on that particular need, that it had to deal with national defense. They like to stay with the theme. So UAP, national defense, major news. I'm going to say it'll probably be by next Thursday, to be honest with you, because I think the anniversary of the last UAP thing was July 16th. So I'm going to push it ahead one day and say the 17th, but somewhere in that week, next week, 15th to 17th, I got a feeling. Oh, could be Friday. Could be Friday.
Friday after 6.
Could be Friday. Yep. So watch next week. And we're going to see if we get any big news on what's going on with that.
Jen says, or to play devil's advocate, our military wasn't damaged because they are ours. That could be, but again, there's so many protocol that were broken and lives that were put at risk.
This is what Ross believes, and I just don't see it. I know how this works. I've talked to people. Yeah. This doesn't happen. And if it did, again, I'll say it. If it did, then it's a organization that is operating above and beyond normal DOD, and that's a huge problem.
Yeah, we call those clandestine.
That is a huge problem.
Yeah.
We got issues there.
But right here, What if, coming back around,
Mm.
what if he was right about some of those clandestine organizations that were operating within the government?
I don't know.
He did talk about that.
He did. So I don't know. We're going to wait and see, how this all shakes out. But there's some stuff there, man. There's some stuff there.
It's very, very concerning.
Mhm.
This kind of stuff, there's so much going on right now that we almost forgot how important it is in today's day and age to wear your hell bent holler adventure
Yeah.
cap,
Yeah, you should definitely wear that.
especially today and forward with all of the chaos going on with volcanoes and earthquakes. The adventure cap could come in very handy because you never know when you're going to be cruising around out there after, the post apocalyptics take place and you're now up there and Dogman rolls up and you don't have your helmet holler cap and he's like,
Mhm, mhm,
going to get you. But as soon as
mhm.
you start scrambling to get it and you put it on, he's like, oh, okay, you're fine. We'll leave you alone now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I'm just
By the
saying.
way, if for those of you guys who are going to be down at Smoky Mountain Bigfoot this weekend, go check Jess and Joe out. Tell them we said hi. Tell them that we sent you, and even if you're already gone, just tell them we sent you. Just cause.
Yeah, just because.
They're going to be having a blast down there. I know that they're presenting. I think they're presenting Saturday.
I'm not sure when.
I can't remember the exact time, but it's going to be a blast. Get down there, go hang out, Smoky Mountain, and give Jess and Joe a big old hug.
I mean, don't sneak up on her for God's sake and do it.
No, you'll get stabbed.
Yeah, probably. Don't do that. She likes
You'll
stabby
start
things.
leaking.
She likes sharp things. She really likes. So
Yeah.
just don't do that. Frontal approach. Hey, Jesse.
But
Then it'll go
they
from there.
will have the Hellbent Holler Adventure Cap on the table, and this could be your chance to get one. So get down there and get on it, daggone it.
That's true. Get on it, daggone it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
back to being lied to.
Back to being lied to, part 2.
Yeah, right. Hey, it's the Fob Daddy. We rubbed the
Ike?
genie bottle talking about the Roswell anniversary, and all of a sudden, Ike Fauber pops up. Everybody, he's hanging out in Roswell right now, having a big old time. He's been sending us some awesome pictures. We miss you, buddy.
Yeah, he's having a ball out there. That's just
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome.
Terry saying Saturday the 26th. Is that that must be when their the event is? I thought it was this weekend, Saturday the 26th. That's when they're speaking.
Okay.
So go hang out. There's time. You have time to prepare now. Saturday the 26th.
Yeah, more time now.
Right.
So there's that.
So breakaway civilization. Let's talk about what if it could be the possible adversary, like NHI adversary.
Okay. Yeah.
What if he's talking about that? Why? How do we know it's an adversary?
How does he know?
And if he knows, why hasn't he already said something?
Right. I haven't seen. Here's my thing. I've seen these other folks end up on these panels and hearings, right?
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Ross be questioned or put on the stand or asked about any of his sources. But he doesn't have to give his sources. Let's be real.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
doesn't.
journalist. He doesn't have to do that. But in the event of something this monumental and huge, I would think he would on some cases be more willing to work with them. But maybe he doesn't trust them.
Well, okay, let's just say you don't trust him. Trust us. Trust the
I don't-
people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why this is this is not a thing. I don't understand why it hasn't come down to the fact of, well, they're big boys and girls now. They can take this. But that's not how we get treated. We get treated with, oh no, you're not ready for this. This is well beyond you. Well, here's the thing, man. I've seen some stuff out there. We've seen some stuff out there that just shouldn't be.
Speaking of, I've got footage that I have to send you from this weekend.
Yeah. That's right, you do.
Yeah,
And
from this past weekend.
and it's stuff that just shouldn't be. Yet
Yeah.
it is. And it's followed by data that correlates and corresponds to what they are, or the sightings of these things. That shouldn't be. Yet there it is. So is it better just to let us look at that and scratch our heads and say, what is it? Rather than saying, oh, that's just, we knew about those. Those been here for 10,000 years. Okay, cool. I guarantee you, if you go out and you say, if there's a headline tomorrow that says shocking news, or whatever it is, bombshell event, science admits ancient aliens are real. Evidence found 10,000 years tomb, blah, 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 right? I guarantee you that's a day at the most on the top of the news. The next day, it's going to be, CDC recalls issues recall for 20,000 pounds of broccoli
of water,
or something like that. And it's just going to be like, hey, did you hear about the an ancient tomb they discovered there and had all them aliens in it? This be at your water cooler, right? Your buddy's going to be like, nah, no, I didn't hear that. So you tell them, right? And then the worst game of telephone in history will begin. Yes. And pretty soon the internet will take over, and it'll be bigger than any lie that you could ever tell. So just tell the truth and let the lie come forth.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you have to do. And then you can sit there and say, deny or confirm. Deny or confirm. It doesn't matter, because at this point, the lie is so big, no one really cares anymore. It's just part of what it is. I mean, my God, we have ground scans that show something underneath the freaking whole Giza pyramid complex at this point, and people are just like, that's not true because that guy believes in UFOs. What?
Right.
What?
Right.
What? What? That's all you can do?
Come out here and do a thing. Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff I believe in, but people trust me to come do things because I have expertise in a thing. Right. But Enzo says Ross was out at Contact this year, and it sounds like he got sucked into someone's tall tales.
Yeah. We know other people who were at Contact as well, and I believe you're absolutely right. I think that's where they do the fishing, Enzo. I think that's where it's
all
at.
These UFO festivals, man.
We've been approached at some of these festivals with people trying to feed us the
first
craziest.
Big one that we did. The first big one that we did with Withville 4 years ago, I think it was now. We had several individuals come up to us trying to push agenda.
Crazy theories.
Yeah.
That's right. The first time I spoke at Kecksburg, it's the same thing. Someone comes up and starts telling me all these things. They follow me out the door, and I'm like, crap, I'm by myself. I don't have anybody with me, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have the big scary dog there.
There's 3 or 4 people. It's burning up. It's hot. It's hotter than crap. And these guys are following me around there, like telling me, hey, you did really good. I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, I got a question for you. And he starts telling me all this stuff. But did you ever think about this? And I'm like, okay. So I listen to people, right? That's what I do. I don't say, oh, you're nuts, and walk away. I'm like, that's a really good theory, And honestly, he was on to a little bit of stuff at that point, because there was some consciousness stuff that he was talking about, but you could tell it was a really detailed sandwich.
Yeah.
And I know those sandwiches very well when I hear them and see them. So you have to really watch when people feed you this stuff. Just because there's 1 or 2 things in there that's true and you can validate and that's true, it doesn't mean the rest of it is true. It doesn't mean that the rest of it is just as spot on and believable.
Oz says, sometimes I wonder if something is out there physically manipulating people. I know it sounds crazy, but the whole Ross thing was out of left field. That's what I was getting at. I can't remember. Yeah, you were in here. That's what I was getting at a little bit ago. The whole coin flipped on everything from the executive branch to the media. It flipped over a 3 to 4 day time frame. Okay. For all these topics, not just UFO, it wasn't just isolated. I personally think that somebody who is in charge of one of these 3-letter groups, or possibly above it, in some clandestine organization. I know it sounds bonkers, but
It does.
the only thing that makes sense to see the whole table across the board get flipped on its end and everybody just say, no, nothing to see here. You said it, I didn't.
And we're okay with it.
And what's going on, Power Band? But seeing that table get flipped like that, and all of a sudden, we're all back on the same script again. They're
Fighting
all
over
reading the same
stuff,
script again.
all divided, back where we were.
Yes.
It's almost like it's a plan.
And it's irritating. You can't tell me, based off this, it does feel and look like there is somebody behind the scenes pulling the marionette strings, and everybody's starting to dance.
It
And it
all
makes me wonder why.
started right with the first Wall Street Journal article, and we knew that they were going to push back. I told you that day. I said, "Oh, look, the Empire Strikes Back."
Yeah.
Well, I guess the whole freaking thing was fully operational because, man, they ain't stopped this time. Usually they stop, and there's a pushback from the other side. Mm-mm.
Enzo says, but to flip and ignore all those different things at once, it would have to be something really big to push that off the table for.
Would be, wouldn't it?
Exactly right.
Would be.
It has to. This is one of those things that points to a clandestine organization that's actually in charge. Everybody knows that the president is a figurehead.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody knows that at this point. That's not a secret. That's not a conspiracy. That's just how it works. That's how this whole country was really just designed from the get-go. That's how a republic is supposed to operate, is that the president is more of a figurehead, not a king, not somebody who really calls the shots. It is ran by the constituents of the representatives.
Mm-hmm.
But
allegedly.
Allegedly. But here we are, we're in this position where everything got flipped all across the board. The whole table got turned over. I heard you, Joe, but no one's going to believe that the government people, but Ross, we thought was above this, unless Ross is now in with the government people.
I don't know that he is. I thought about, there's only two options. He is, or he's just being used. And that's the only options, right? And I think that's one of our biggest issues.
If he starts driving a new truck.
You know, what we got to do is we got to look and see where he goes with the rest of this. See how far he does flip, because he's still saying NHI. That's why I wanted to show that clip. I want to make sure you all saw that clip, because they're ignoring this.
That does kind of set the record in a different tone. You are right, because the rest of that clip, it's one of the things that we have griped about for ages with media, which is kind of target editing.
Yeah.
Where they say this and you know, Jeff Wamsley's fallen victim to it with creative editing.
Yeah.
Mothman is pure evil.
That's right.
You know, and they are using selective clips to do this stuff. So it is good that we were able to show that other aspect, but like, what is it? What caused this sudden halt at about face?
Here's the thing, guys. I'm just going to tell you right now. The way that you get the stuff out, right? The way that you get the information out that you can't talk about is you do what is it?
She said, we can't trust anyone but our ragtag group of Star Wars bar refugees.
No, that's truth.
That is the best analogy for what we are that I've heard in ages. I love it. Ron, there's a new thing. We need to get like people at the next meeting and just get headshots, and then we work them into like a cantina bar in Tatooine, and we're all just kind of sitting around in the
right.
I think it'd be fun. Make us different aliens. Put Zorp and Kargon in there.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, guys. We have to watch this, because can you imagine, like, and it's the same way like with with Elizondo. Like when he couldn't say what he needed to say, he was just speaking with these little cryptic hints that you would put together years later, and oh, he said this in this episode, he said that in that episode, and then you had to put it all together. That's clever. So we need to watch and see if Ross is doing the same thing. I don't think anybody has done that yet. I don't think anybody's really sat down and looked at some of, all of his different clips. Has he revealed something in a non-sequential order? That's the question, right? Your bigger question should be, have we revealed something in a non-sequential order over the years? And, that we can't say out loud. So,
But if
yeah,
you piece it together,
you'll figure it out. So these are the kind of things that we need to all be looking at for real. Not kidding. So if Joe and I come on here one day and tell you that UFOs are not real, for example, and that's all just a government, they made them. It's all drones and weather balloons. You'll understand.
right? So,
Hey, Kuznar.
let's see. Enzo said, if anything, Ross thinks he's in with the insiders. He isn't. He's being told tales to repeat on camera.
Right.
That's what I'm worried about too, man. Either that or someone actually got to him.
I think it's more like what Enzo just said. I think a lot of these guys want to think that they've got the scoop. They trust their sources implicitly for whatever reason, and we don't know who's telling the truth. This is the X-Files. Let's just call it for what it is. We are in the age of trust no one, and it is a real thing. It is a very real thing.
I've got my Funko Pop smoking man somewhere here.
Now, he should be the mascot of the whole show at this point. But for real, I mean, you can't trust anyone anymore. And it is sad.
Something I was thinking about just now, too, if this would really be another country's tech, just revealed it. Instantly, the seat of power globally changes. Whoever has that tech rules, period.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I just don't think it's that simple. And if we're going to play this adversary thing, me and you said this a long time ago when they started saying adversarial was the possibility, because they'd already said multiple times, it's not anything we can create. It's beyond anything that humans can make. Yet it still says possible adversary at the bottom. I'm like, that's not good, because that is reading between the lines, telling me something that I probably shouldn't be comfortable with. If that's an adversary's, that's not an earthly adversary, or it's not a normal terrestrial adversary, I should say. And then you got these people out there who are, hell bent on trying to figure out, ways to capitalize off of this, to run their podcasts off of it, to just basically muddy the water so much. And it absolutely infuriates me when they sit there and they say, oh, this is for our spiritual growth. They're here for this. They're here for that. Guys, the honest to God truth is this: we don't know. And any answer beyond that is absolute hogwash. Okay. It's garbage. It's not true. It's a delusion of ego. And that is it, period. Do I believe that there are positive things out there? Yep, sure do. Think we've run into a few of them from time to time. Do I believe that there's negative things out there? Probably. Have I run into them personally? No, but I have met people who have, and I believe those people. That leads me to believe that we're not dealing with the exact same thing. People are having multiple experiences, and to pull it into one thing and say, Space Brothers have come to deliver us from the great evil. That is a cult. Sorry. Not sorry.
You're not wrong.
Not sorry.
And we're not saying it's a cult as in like, wearing matching tracksuits and drinking Kool-Aid.
No.
Like there really are, there's religions that have been formed over the years around UFOs. And
we did an episode of that, actually. It's audio and it's really good. And Wayne gets really mad.
That was the cloning episode. Yeah, that was a cult. They were mad.
Yeah, that was a UFO cult. So it was really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, guys, I'm for real. I mean, I'm sorry if I just lost us probably 5 viewers, because that happens. We go up, we go down because someone hears something like that. And it's like, yeah, I don't like that. Okay, cool. It's the
We
truth.
are data driven, guys. We do like to speculate, and we will speculate with the best of you, but we don't know what we don't know.
We don't know
And
what we don't know.
yeah, and there are people who will sit and claim that these beings are not doing things that are malicious, that they're not doing X, Y, and Z. Well, then why do so many people say otherwise?
Right.
Oh, well, those aren't the same beings. Well, then what beings are good and which beings are bad? And how do I tell them apart?
Yeah. Do
And
you
how
have
do
an
you know?
alien detector? Do we have an alien detector? No, we don't.
I need one.
Can we call them down? The whole C5 thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently we can. But do you think that's a good idea? Because no, you don't know what you're calling down. I mean, there are certain things that come in here, and yeah, I know people come back, go, y'all did it, you hypocrites. Like, well, we did it as an experiment, and we haven't done it since. That's all I'm going to say to that. But there's
Well,
been some weird stuff.
we
Weird.
haven't done the same thing since.
No, weird stuff. Weird stuff. There was weird stuff.
Yeah, it was weird stuff. So I'm going to tell you guys what I saw this past weekend.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Tell us what you saw.
And we have
I've
the video.
actually
It's
got
actually
a
recorded.
I've actually got a clip here that Beth sent in that I wanted to show.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's not a full video. I'm not showing the full video because this is something we got to follow up on site, et cetera, et cetera. But want to get people's opinion on what they think this is, because I don't know. I don't know what it is. Okay. So I'm just going to show this real quick, and we're going to I want to see what you've got or hear what you've got. So this is interesting. I've looked at it and I can't figure it out. So y'all be the collective, do your thing. Here we go. Y'all see that little dot there in the middle screen right here?
Yep. Let me get. It's hard to see when it's small, but I have it blown up. You look in between the blue bar or purple bars there, but it is there. I do see
Well, take
that.
the purple bar off. You're good. Just go over to the studio section. You can just click that once and that'll go away. Do, 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 do. Should be in the overlay section.
It is, but they moved everything around. It's all in blocks now instead of a list.
Where's it at? Media styles.
Video clip overlay. Here it is. Got it.
There it is. There you go. You got it. All right. So anyway, y'all see that little dot right there?
Yes.
All right. I'm just going to play the little dot. Well, let me get the sound off. We don't need sound. No point in that. So, okay. So here we go. Back up because she zooms in on it. There you go. Anyone at all?
Looks like
Arrow.
that looks like a commercial airliner.
Let me zoom in a little bit more for you because you can't see it. Let's go ahead. Because if it's a commercial airliner, it's sitting still.
Oh, I thought it was moving. Okay.
It does look like a commercial airliner.
Well, it doesn't now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it
no,
does.
that other wing's gone.
Yeah, okay. But watch. If it's a commercial airliner, it's upside down.
And the shadow's in the wrong place.
The shadow's in the wrong place. That's what I was getting at. Like, this makes no sense to me what I'm looking at all. Yeah, it's the shape of an airliner. I'm with you 100%. That is absolutely the shape of an airliner. Except for this is wrong.
Well, okay, no. So the light is coming. The light's coming in from the direction your arrow is.
Yeah, it's coming.
So
this
the
way.
shadow's not in the wrong place. So that could be a commercial jet. That looks like a commercial jet.
Think we got a commercial jet?
And it looks like the sun's hitting it and casting that shadow that's making the wing look like it's not there.
Okay, that might be what we're seeing. What I'm seeing here, I couldn't figure out, is that dark shadow area.
Yeah, because you've got you know how the aircraft, the wings set on top and the belly's down below.
Yeah.
That light is going to cut across and hit the belly first, and it's going to black out the other wing.
Yeah, and I can't get that any more.
And the shadow's in the right spot for the light.
Okay. Well, you're right then.
Because look at the pitch on that wing.
Yeah, I think we are looking at a commercial airliner now. I am with you on that. It makes more sense.
Wait, what's that?
Wait now. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense at all. Hang on. What? All right, we're going from this. Camera movement.
Camera moves.
Camera
shadow
moves.
Stays where it's at.
Camera moves because the shadow is staying where it's at. So this is a camera movement artifact. And now it does look exactly.
Yep. Longer in the back than the front.
Yeah. There she is. Pretty sure that's just a standard airliner.
Yeah, it's probably FedEx being all white like that. FedEx or
yeah, it's hard to say.
Delta.
But yeah, that's well, that was cool. You guys helped. Thanks. That's the kind of stuff we need. Sweet. Back to where we were.
All right. So last weekend.
Yeah. What did you do?
We were up at the farm. Beautiful clear skies. I took some decent night shots with the phone, 4-minute exposures.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to let's see. I'm going to send one of the pictures to me, or to you rather, and then I'm going to put it in the feed so everybody can see it. Because this was a 2-minute exposure on this particular shot. And I think that's the one. Nope, not that one. Where's there it is. Yeah. So let me grab it. I'm gonna download and then pop it over here. So that way you guys can see it. It's very interesting little. Of course. Ron, can you grab it and throw it up on the screen? Wait. Never mind. I'm looking in the wrong file.
Oh, okay.
Yep, here it is. I looked in the wrong folder. There we go.
There we are. Okay. What am I seeing?
This is on a tripod.
Okay.
2-minute exposure.
Okay.
And look at those. Look at the movement.
Yeah, I see it.
And there's clearly stars there that are static. You don't
see that too
on them. But then over on the left-hand side, there's something that seems to make like almost matching C shapes.
Yeah, I see that. They do match. What's your light source here? You have a light source anywhere nearby?
No, there was nothing.
So you're in total darkness with this?
Yeah, that's why it's so dark here.
That's weird.
And then look at the one over on the right-hand side.
Because I would say could be insects lit up, but they would have just appeared out of nowhere, apparently.
Right.
And why do they have the same? I mean, they all have the exact same shape almost. What the crap is that?
Yeah, it's weird.
That don't make no sense because I'm seeing that makes no sense at all. I
It's
see
weird,
the
and it's on a
same,
tripod.
and these are the exact same shapes. I mean, repeated. There's 90-degree angles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 90-degree angles scattered. And there's some that this looks like it has literally been, and I know you didn't do it, but this looks to me like someone has just cloned these
Yeah.
and just popped them on there. But there's enough variation that I can see that says, nope, that ain't what happened. So what in the world did you get?
No clue.
And it's just in one frame?
Well, there were two. Let me see. It's just in one frame because there were 2-minute long exposures.
Yeah.
We'll send these 3 and we'll see if there's anything.
So you're just pushing the boundary of your camera at that point, just seeing what might show up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna send you the
What? Wait, hold up. What's Larry talking about here?
small earthquake. Where at?
Where?
No, I was like 8 feet away from the tripod.
Okay, I'm going. All right. Did you send those over?
Yeah, I sent you 3 shots that were taken before.
Okay.
Because I set a 10-second timer
Mm.
on the photograph so that way I could touch the picture take
Okay.
and then just walk away, and then I would come back however many minutes later and take another one.
Okay.
So there wasn't anybody else out there with me. These were at like 1 a.m.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let me take a look. And we'll see.
Oh, Larry, are you saying that it could have been like a small earthquake that did it?
Oh, I see what he's saying, like a tremor.
Yeah, there could have been some kind of tremor because that would
No,
make sense for
no,
you.
no, it wouldn't because you've got stars there.
Oh, right, there are ones that didn't move.
Yeah, there's ones that did clearly not move.
If I would have bumped it, they'd have all been wobbly.
Bingo. Did you send that? Because I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
I'll go get them.
Did you mail it or did you like message it?
Facebook.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me find that. That's not going to be the greatest quality, but it'll work.
Here is another one. This has nothing in it. This is just what it looks like the very next frame. Like when I take the very next photo, and because again, it's a 10-second timer. I hit the button, counts to 10, and then it starts the picture.
Okay, I've got it.
And that one's nice and clean.
Close that.
The moon is what the kind of source of light there is.
Okay.
But yeah, it was weird. That was the only weird. I caught a couple satellites and things like that in the 4-minute exposures.
Yeah. Well, I know those aren't satellites. So
those aren't satellites. So that's weird.
And I want to look at these just a little bit, real close here in the last couple minutes, and just
yeah, sure.
I'm pulling up Photoshop
Now,
right
as soon as I turned on the psionics, and I did my first light test,
yeah,
I couldn't have the button. Like I should have had been recording from the minute I turned it on.
Yep.
Because when I brought it up to my eye to get into the area that I was going to focus on, I saw it was one of those blue blobs, like what you got in TNT.
Oh wow!
And then
not recording.
I got two other videos.
Okay.
You're just going to have to wait and see. But one of them, I will tell you, was very interesting. I don't know what it is.
Well, is it adversarial?
It could be.
That's probably what it is.
It could be, but it wasn't visible on thermal.
Okay. Well, we know they're not sometimes. So, all right.
Is
So
just picking the top row of the double lights or the bottom ones or both?
this is what I want to see. I don't. All right. I'm going to lighten this up a little bit because I
Night,
want to see
Lisa.
these trails. I want to see what these trails look like. There we go. Yeah, we can see the trails a little better that way. And yeah, there's wow. They're all going the same direction. And they all went the same speed
Yeah.
because it looks like it pretty darn close to me. Look at these two right here in this area. Look at that right there. That's even
Yeah.
got the same little curve at the
It's
top.
almost like they're stamped.
What in the world did you get out there?
But
Look
now
at
it's a little bit different than this.
It's
That one's a little bit different than the other ones.
Yeah.
One is way more intense.
Yeah. 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 You see the stars. All right, guys. You see the stars there. They're not moving. There's no motion blur on the stars. Yet here we see again the same patterns, just a little different over here. Wow. I don't know, man. I don't know what that is.
Jeppy, it's hard to see on a phone, but are the objects showing movement? Yeah, they are.
Yeah. On a
They are
static
showing
background.
They are showing movement. I'll send you the picture actually, Jeff, right now. So that way you can actually look at it here in a minute. And actually see it and zoom in and look around.
That's crazy. Like these data points show clear movement right here. We've seen clear movement, and that's consistent with your exposure, long exposure. But then we've got stars which aren't showing any movement whatsoever.
Yeah.
So you didn't bump it. Nothing
No.
moved the camera. That proves nothing moved the camera. But whatever those are, they're moving in front of the camera. But what's even
And look at
weird,
this look at these. Look at those little
they're squirrelies. Again, it's the same kind of pattern. It's like when you see one, you see multiples, and they're in different locations at the exact. This makes no sense whatsoever. What I'm seeing makes no sense because it looks like something is literally happening at the exact same time, but in a different, just a slight difference. There's something spatially different about it. Each one of these instances. So what in the world happened out there?
Oz says if it was a bump, it could have been the bright objects and then the faint stars hadn't printed yet. Or imprinted yet.
How in the world? And if it was a bump, how come we have these little short ones? Because they should be as long as
the bright all of
these.
them should have been about like that. It should have been glaringly obvious.
That doesn't make any sense. What I'm seeing makes no sense whatsoever here. Yeah, I don't know what you caught, man. That's weird. I mean, that's really weird. The fact that there's so many of them that look the same or just marginally different. There's just like a little slight difference. Like it's the same thing, but it's a different iteration of it. I don't know.
Jeff is looking at it now on his phone and says, "This makes no sense. Why isn't everything moving? Could it have been dust particles that got lit up?"
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like, what's our light source? Could these be bugs? But look here, man. Even if it is, what in the world kind of dust particles? What is making a dust particle do the exact same thing in this quadrant, and then making these do this down here, and these over here doing their own separate thing? But they're all in these little groups where they're doing it. Look here, right here. Look at this. You see that?
See, I didn't see how many there were until we'd blown it up.
There's
in the
so
screen
many
like
correlations. Look here. 1, 2. Look here. This is the same thing repeated again. It's just like it's mirrored and it's just a little variation. We see these are almost identical, right? But no, look, it's a little farther apart. And over here, it's a little farther apart. And then look here.
Maybe I should have checked the time.
Look right here. You've got the same thing going on right here. This is a clone of this one. It's a clone of that one. And what? Oh my God, look. It's again a clone of the exact same thing. thing. It's just a little more intense right
And it's in a
there.
different pattern.
And it's a different pattern. So what in the world did you get out there? What were you doing? I mean, I don't even know. I have no idea what happened here. This is weird.
So
This is really weird.
I did the typical.
Okay. You did the
Go
typical. So
out.
you did the thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I sat there and I just watched just with my own eyes for a while. And I was looking to see and track satellites because there were tons of satellites.
Yeah.
And then, and I'm shocked, honestly, that I didn't get any satellites in this shot because almost every other one I had, there was at least one.
Yeah.
So the,
I can't explain this.
I sat there and this was, I think, the third or fourth one of the night that I took. And I made sure I set my timer to 10 seconds for the picture. And exposure for these were set to 2 minutes. And then I later moved it to 4. And yeah.
Okay. Well, let me just show you some stuff here then. Let me just show you some stuff. And this is one of those pictures I almost want to have AI look at and just find the possible correlations, because I know I'm missing some here, but I can already see there are several. And you see them right here.
Yeah.
I'd say that's part of this one. If I had to guess, if following the pattern, I would say that is part of that one right there.
But
Now,
then if
why?
you look, as you're looking at that one in the middle,
Here's one.
there's
right
another
here.
matching set right there that
Matching.
matched this kind of shape.
Yeah, this might be more of the match to that one. Yeah, right here. Wow. I don't know, man. There's just multiple data sets in here, that just correlate or seem to correlate. I don't know.
Enzo said skymap.exe didn't refresh. That's good.
Wow. Yeah, man, you got some weird stuff. I'm just gonna tell you that. That's
Jeff says, okay, thinking
something.
outside the box. Is this an area of special energy? Indeed. Indeed it is.
Yes, sir. It is. And I know where this was at, and I know what happened at this location. And
wait till you see the other videos that I'm getting ready to send you.
I'm excited. You got me excited now. And that's pretty awesome. That's some impressive stuff, man. That's impressive. Very impressive.
Well, the next week, you guys will get to see the videos that I'm going to send Ron tonight.
Yeah,
I was going to send them to him earlier in the week, but I was without power for 2 days.
Yep.
And then it's just been really hectic here. I got bit by something venomous. Yeah,
What?
it's super fun.
What?
Yeah, I got bit by some kind of venomous spider. And
When?
I think Monday. But like my ankle's weird, and my liver's enzymes and all that stuff. I'm healthy as an ox. I'm just a little, I don't feel bad, and it's not hot. Like it's not infected or anything, but you can definitely tell something just bad happened.
Wow.
So, but my body's handling it well. But yeah, my 2 brothers and my sister-in-law and myself saw this in Coburg, Oregon in September of 93, 94. We called them blinkies. We stayed outside until dawn watching them.
Blinkies? That's a good name. I like that.
I like that.
Good, Danella. Wow. Man, I don't know.
There's a star man waiting in the sky.
I don't know. I don't know what you got. But yeah, we'll definitely be looking at that.
And sure. Oz, I'm going to send these over to you too, so that way you can look at the ones that were like before this one. Because I know you do a ton of time lapse and you do a ton of long exposure stuff, so I'll email these over to you too, so that way you can take a look. Because it's weird.
Rob,
I have a video of a light in the woods that I caught last weekend. Coincidentally, this was last weekend. Where
Yeah.
send it, brother.
Yeah. This was last weekend.
And yep. Like I said, next week you will see what I caught this past weekend. Just playing, really.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting.
Enzo says maybe the ones that moved weren't actually stars, and that's a lot of things staring down at you. It is a lot of things staring down at me if that's the case.
A lot of things staring down at him. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Rob says there are more than one, but I only caught the one. That's only matters, man.
Yep.
You caught
Sure
one.
does.
That's the important thing. Send it over to us. Let us take a look, brother.
That's one more than most people catch, Rob. So,
exactly.
Good job. It's data. Every bit of it's data. Wow. That's just crazy, though. Well, folks, I wasn't sure what this show was going to be about tonight. I just knew that we were going to go over a couple of things as far as the news went and, and discuss, of course, the earth changes thing. And then it just turned into something completely different like it always does. So if that's the kind of thing you like I said, make sure you smack the crap out of that sub button and join us back here every Thursday at 8 p.m. We are here. You'll also see an announcement soon for a actual podcast episode that'll go up. They're a little different than this. And that's going to be a Bigfoot oriented one. So for you folks who are out there, wanting to know a little bit more about the Bigfoot topic, because, it's a real topic. We haven't ignored it.
We do the Bigfoot stuff too.
We haven't ignored it. It's just that this thing pulls us a little bit more. There's a little more evidence over here for this. Is what I'm saying.
And actually kind of easier.
Yeah. It's a lot easier
to do.
I mean, you just point a camera and if I pointed a camera in the woods and Bigfoot just showed up, that'd be cool. That ain't what happens. You got to go out there. You got to sit the whole night, and you wait and nothing happens. But maybe one of these guys will show up, and flash a light at you or something. Makes the night whole lot better. And they're like, yeah. And then they like beam a message into your head, probably something like, why are you out here looking for that fuzzy thing? Ain't that old furry thing ain't no good. I mean, we're over here. Look, light show. So
thanks, Enzo. Thanks, Jeff. We appreciate you guys. You all, this whole group means the world to us. We appreciate this community that we've been able to build and the family we have that we get together with quarterly and just get to hang with. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, our goal was, like I said, we're going to put a Geiger counter in each one of your hands eventually. That's what we're going to try to do. Eventually, that's the goal, man. That's the goal, to get us all together and you get a Geiger counter and you get a Geiger counter.
And by the way, this week, this is just for the folks that stayed here because you're here at the end of the show. We had some correspondence with GQ, the makers of our Geiger counters.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
The owner of the company responded back to me via email yesterday and sent me a really cool email that he was very intrigued in the way that we use their devices. And he believes that the readings that we were getting were factually accurate because the sensors that they put in their devices are so sensitive and so precise that they were measuring the exact levels of radiation in the areas that we were in at the moment we were in them, and that those could be taken to the bank.
So take that however you will.
But he's really interested in how we use it.
That's cool. So we'll be putting that in our presentation from now on. They'll be in the presentations, and that's going to be it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. We knew that it was something that we couldn't explain. We've pushed it up against people before, and we like to seek out these possible explanations from people, who make this stuff. That's why we contacted some of these other guys, right? And so far, man, no one knows what we got, only that we got something. So what's that mean? Yeah, validation.
That's what it means.
That's what it means. That's about all That's the way what I looked at it as too. I was like, yeah, there it is. I don't know what it is. It only says that there is something there, and you can't say that was obviously just your equipment malfunctioning.
Right.
Every single one of them at the exact same time, and yet all the lights are still on.
Yep.
Probably not.
Well, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you to everyone who jumped in and made donations towards the next meeting and to help keep these lights on, because I'm telling you, you guys are going to be starting to see some really cool stuff that we're putting together very, very soon. And one last blessing for everybody, because you guys are all so awesome. Here we go.
GQ is helping to defend against the adversary. Yes, they are, Enzo. Go
That's
GQ.
right.
Go GQ.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you guys. We will see you same place next week. We're going to be right here next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. We are going to have new UFO footage.
Never before seen, right? I mean,
Never
I haven't
before
even seen it. It's
Yep.
never before seen.
Ron will see it here in the next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's good stuff. And guys, again, we appreciate every one of you. And remember, if you're ever out living on top of a volcano, maybe don't. Especially if it's a super volcano. It just seems like a bad idea. Stay wild and weird, everybody.
Probably.
Find
Probably
the
shouldn't.
end button.
Don't build dinosaur parks on them either. It's a bad idea.
Ooh, wait, but build dinosaur parks, just not